What up, y'all? Welcome back to the Woman's Hustle, Thrills and Spills of Entrepreneurship. It's your girl, Coach K. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know the drill. Make sure you guys have subscribed to the Upgraded Mindsets Media channel. Make sure you are favoriting the Woman's Hustle on your podcast streaming platforms because you know I have had some amazing guests here on the Woman's Hustle, and I'm so grateful. Today's show is going to be no different, baby. I'm going to allow my guest the honor of introducing herself. Hello.
Hello, and thank you for having me. I am Trinae Hall, and I am the CEO and founder of TH Concept Solutions. And basically, what we do is we work with small businesses, helping them with branding, solo law firms, small law firms, and we also help nonprofits. So we do anything from SEO, digital ads, to your marketing, to your website, to the logos, to the getting you your digital footprint. We do it all.
I love it. I love it. And
Yeah.
that is something that is so necessary in these streets right now. You hear
Yes,
me?
for
So
sure.
super excited to have some conversation with you, but to also have you share your insight. Because one thing I know as women entrepreneurs, baby, we need all the support, all the insight, all the expertise that we can get. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited to talk more about. So tell us a little bit more how TA's Concept Solutions came to fruition.
Oh, yes. Let's get into it. So I've been, kind of in the industry for law for like 8 years. And I was kind of helping corporate America, right? I was bringing them in business in different platforms, whether it would be me at a conference, me at an event, me doing networking. Also then the digital, I was doing their social media and their Google and things of that sort. And I kind of felt like I wasn't appreciated enough, they kind of just thought, people were coming on their own, right? Like,
Right. What you say? You
they
wasn't doing nothing.
I wasn't doing nothing, right? Mind you, I'm at 2-3 events every week. I'm at conferences every month. So, not having that appreciation and then realizing that people were coming to them for me made me realize that I could do this and impact smaller businesses who really need those type of clients and who can appreciate it and they know exactly who they're dealing with, right? So
Yeah.
that's how it came about. So my goal is to help small businesses be seen and to also make sure that starting a business is not easy. And when you're at that 3-year mark, you kind of make it or you sink. So my goal is to help you even before you get to that 3-year mark to be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you even touched on that because especially when it comes to corporate America, they do feel like that, they're not going to acknowledge, they're not going to, because they're going to take all the credit for things because guess what? You're an employee. They can do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you realized your worth, sis, because that was
Thank
something that,
you.
I
Yeah.
definitely love
And
it.
I'm just like, I got tired of putting money into their pockets, right? So it's like, hey, I could do this and be more impactful with small businesses. So that's how I got
Absolutely.
started.
Absolutely. And I love how you're like in the legal field, right? So like the legal marketing, like what kind of go into more details with that when it comes to that, if you don't mind.
Sure. So marketing in general, you hire these marketing firms and they kind of just give you a template. Everyone just fits in this template, right? If you're in the legal field, you have this template that they do. If you're in this field, you have this template that they do. But those templates don't fit everybody. Not every attorney is the same, right? So a company that I went to go work for, they had a marketing firm with a huge budget, and the marketing firm had them listed as family law attorneys on Google. They didn't even do family law.
Oh,
Been
wow.
in the business for 40 years at that point, and they never did family law, and no one caught these, right? And they were just paying them, and paying them. So my
That's
my
crazy.
goal was, yes, it's super crazy. So my goal is also to make sure that we're using different type of digital marketing that caters to you and your business, right?
Yeah.
Specifically to you, specifically to the person that you are. But whatever product you're selling, we're also selling you. So I make sure that your branding looks like you, that you are the brand, that everything is matching. And also the fact that, I pay attention to those details. Like if you're not a family law attorney, I'm not going to have you listed as a family law
Come on. Talk
attorney.
about it.
um, and there were so many attorneys out there, so it's harder for when solo law firms are trying to get found, right? So the most important thing is having your digital footprint and making sure the SEO and these keywords are being seen and picked up by you and are people searching for you, especially in this climate, right?
Yeah.
There's
That's a
a
fact.
lot of minority owned businesses, right? Female owned businesses. So those are things that you want to highlight and make sure that you're being found as well in these searches. So I make sure that they find you.
Right. And people don't realize the small things. I love how you're touching on that because I call that the entire ecosystem of your business, right? People
Yes.
feel like that it just goes with the LLC, the EIN number, and then
Mhm.
now all of a sudden you're on social media telling people about your product and that's it. Like that's nothing but a minuscule part of you on this entrepreneur journey. And I had to learn that lesson as being in the game for 5 years now. Those were one of the hardest lessons that I had to realize because I'm like, oh, everybody wants to be a coach. Everybody wants a coach. Everybody wants
Yes.
somebody to help them. And yeah,
Yes.
no,
No.
that ain't real life. That ain't real
No.
life. You know what I'm
No.
saying? But again, like also talking about your digital footprint. I don't think people realize that's not just social media. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like it's not just
No.
social media, but let's talk about that for a second because when it comes to your digital footprint, I know working with some clients because I do kind of help with the back end stuff as well. That you've
Mhm.
got 3, 4 different social media handles. Oh my! Well, on this social media handle, it's this, and on this
This.
one, it's this, and it's like no, 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 no. Let's talk about this, okay?
Yes.
Because you've got to be able to establish people, like you said, we want to be able to Google you and everything is popping up. You know what I'm saying? So I love that you touch on that.
Yeah.
I love your motto, right? And your motto is visibility isn't vanity, it's survival. Please elaborate on more of that, what this means for entrepreneurs.
Yes, of course. So if I can't find you, right, you're never going to have my service, right? So social media is great with certain things, but you can't search on social media for certain services, right?
Man.
Unless they're already viral, right? If they're not viral, you're not going to be able to find it. So then how do people find you? And that's the strategy that we built. The most important thing is visibility, is you
Yeah.
being seen, right? So how does that look like? What do you want your messaging to sound like? What do you want people to know about you as soon as they come on your website or your social media platforms? Are you doing a newsletter? Are you doing a blog? What is your message? I mean, I kind of like to switch it up, right? Not everyone wants to read all the time. Everyone has a newsletter, everyone has a blog. So
Yeah.
I like to do things like this, videos, podcasts, or quick snippets of, hey, life is tough. So let's come talk about some Tuesday tea real quick and my week, right?
Hey, that part, yo.
Right? Try to be relatable to other small businesses. Hey, I'm
Yeah.
a small business myself, right? And going through the motions, it's not all gravy every here. So I try to talk about that as well on my platform. So you got to find your messaging and what makes you you and what makes you different, especially in the world where everyone is doing the same thing,
Ooh.
right?
Everybody doing the same thing,
The
sis.
same thing.
Everybody trying to do the same thing. And I think we get caught up in the it's working for them, so why shouldn't it work for me? And the reason why it's not working for you is because you don't have the personality that they have. You don't have the
Exactly.
characteristics that they have. You don't have the product that they have, whether it's product, service, you don't have what they have. You know what I'm saying? And you
Mhm.
probably haven't invested like they've invested. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So I tell my clients often, like, if you see somebody that you want to be just like them, that mean they
Mhm.
marketing is the bomb,
The
right?
bomb. Yep. And they pay you for
That, yeah,
it.
they're investing in
It's
themselves. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
You
So I
have
think
to
that
do
that
that.
is super critical. Really understanding, like, please, and I know that some of my listeners do know, but please kind of elaborate more on what SEO is.
Oh, yes. So SEO is search engine optimization. What that basically means is when I do a search of, let's say, an attorney, an estate planning attorney, or real estate attorney, right? When I do that, what pops up in that radius, right?
Mhm.
What pops up in that state? What pops up in that city? The keywords that you're using to make yourself pop up. If you do commercial residential in a certain area, are those type of words on your website are being picked up from somewhere. So you want to make sure that you have keywords related to your branding and your business on a website or some type of platform so that that can pick up during your Google search. So it's not just about, oh, I have a website. It's no, does your website relate back to Google? Do these keywords that you need people to find you, are they on your website? Are they in your Google? Are you using the right taglines when you're posting, right? To be found back again. That's all digital footprinting, but it's all SEO at the same time. So that when I'm searching, you're optimizing that to your best capacity. You want to beat your competition. And how do you beat your competition?
Yes.
If when I search you, your competition is first. You're never going to be able to do that without it. Does it sound like I know what I'm talking about a little bit?
Hey, listen, sis, come on with it. Come on. Come on. I think people need to hear these realities. You know what I'm saying? Because I have the conversations where people are like, I'm so frustrated. I'm tired. I didn't realize it was going to be this hard or things like that. And I'm not saying that the process is, but it's not hard to build a business per se. And I'm learning this, right? It's not hard to build a business. It's hard to become disciplined, structured, aligned, purposeful, intentional, actionable to do it. You know what I'm saying?
And all
So
those things help you maintain it,
that part,
right? That's the hardest part, is maintaining your business.
maintaining. It's a fact.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
It's a fact.
And I get it too. Like you're just starting off, you don't have a budget. Some of this this started off as a side hustle for me that I never put love to, right? Because I was so busy with the corporate stuff.
Right.
So at some point in time, I just had to jump ship and jump into it. But I knew what I was getting into, right? I know the first year is going to be tough. First of all, who am I to people?
Right. True
Okay,
that.
I'm not a big marketing firm. I'm just me, my authentic self, and I could just tell you how I helped others. But that's gonna take time. People have to see the results. People have to see other people talking about me. I had to get myself out there, do some speaking engagements, sound like I know what I'm talking about to other people, and to build my own visibility as well.
Yeah.
In my case, Google ads don't work because nobody really knows what SEO is. Nobody really knows what the difference between branding is and how important branding is, streamlining everything. So I had to go with a different approach, and that's fine too. You can't use social media for everything, but you have to kind of put your, boots on the ground, as we love right now.
Hey, trendy,
Right?
trend,
Trend.
right?
You kind of have to get out there and figure out
You
what
do.
works for you.
Yep, you do.
So that you can maintain your business.
Yeah, even touching on that, like we have to realize that if social media goes down, because social media has gone down, we've seen it. I know in the last year, it's probably gone down a few times.
Yeah.
And people are sick. They're like, oh my God, I lost money. I lost money. It should not be your only platform. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm not a big fan of social media here anymore. But as a business owner, I know it's a part of the endeavor for me. My goal is to eventually completely outsource that to everybody else, to where I don't even got to look at social media no more.
Right.
Them goals for me, okay? Them goals, okay?
Right. And you can do that now,
Yeah.
especially with the technology, right? Like
Yeah.
you can send all these ideas over to somebody and be like, hey, schedule it, and this is how I want it to be done.
Yep.
You don't have to make your life harder. But yes, to your point, social media is not everything.
No, it's not. It's not. And I think just realizing, like, having a blueprint for your business, right? Having a blueprint of knowing what processes you are doing here, and it's going to depend on what you serve, what you sell, what you provide, what you offer. So you have to make sure that that's structured, aligned, structured with that. And a lot of times people are just blindly out here just throwing stuff out. You know what I'm saying? So I just want people to understand. I know you may feel like we harping on it, y'all.
Right.
But I need y'all to understand, because they need to get through them ears, that these conversations are necessary for you to decide and say, you know what, I need to get accountable. I need to figure out what I can't outsource at this time. Or if I can't outsource, then I need to get educated more in this so I can be able to strengthen what I'm doing in that level and eventually be able to outsource it. Because you got to be able to build your business enough so you can make the money to outsource, y'all. That's the goal.
And two, if SEO works, it'll work for you during your sleep. And that's what drives in that traffic, so that you can get to that money faster to be able to do so, right? And I think it's okay to start small. People come out of here and, they want an office right away. They want this podcast right away. They're going to do newsletters, blogs, send text messages. Okay, we're also going to be on Instagram, and we're going to have these viral moments on TikTok. And,
listen.
you're putting so much of your efforts and money out there for things that aren't or may not even be working for you.
Yeah.
Or you're never going to reach that audience, right? You have to find out who your audience is first. Who are you selling to, and who are you trying to sell to? What are their demographics? What are their ages? Is it female? Is it male? Is it people, them, theirs? Like and then when you have to figure out who you're talking to, right? So that you're talking to your audience politically correct. and you're selling to the right people. Because at the end of the day, you're still selling yourself.
Hey,
You
you
are right.
still
You
selling
are the
yourself.
products, right? You are the brand. So
Yep.
there's ways for you to do that research first on a small budget and a low budget without you having to do a million other things. Until you come out in this market so heavy and so saturated, like I don't want to see you on social media a million times a day. I don't want to see you posting 3, 4 times a day. Right? That's too much for me. I don't want your newsletter
Talk about it.
to be have like a newsletter is a newsletter. I should have it once a month. I should not be hearing from you every day. You know what I do at that point? You're now in my spam filter because all I know is you're the material you're giving me is too frequent and it's not relevant to what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
I get enough emails a day. So you really need to lay the groundwork early. And like you said, you have to build a blueprint for not just you, but what does your business look like around you?
Mm-hmm. Come on, talk
Really
about it,
important.
sis. Woo-hoo-hoo.
We
I
dropping
want to
some
ask
gems
you though,
today.
how do
Yeah.
you see the future branding in the next 5 to 10 years? Like, what do you see that?
I see AI hurting a lot of people, right? AI is great for letting it mechanically do things for you, letting it act as your assistant, double checking, language, checking on trends if you want to. But having it completely do yourself, you start losing the human touch. So you start losing your audience and the people that you're trying to grab and navigate towards, right? AI is only helpful in some amount and again, to help you, right? To assist you, to further validate maybe some thoughts or help you plot out some ideas. That's great for it. But when you're automating and having AI do everything, okay, now how does AI know your audience better than you do? Right? And now you're going to go back to talking to a brick wall because you're losing that connection, right? Especially as a small business, you have to have connection with your clients. And
That
that's how you
part.
build it. That's how you build it, right? You're not corporate. I don't want somebody in corporate because corporate is just like a machine as well. You, as a small business person, you have that human touch, you have that human element. And then that's where the referrals and this and that come from. So if you lose that, who's going to be referring you over? You
Woo.
can't have AI do everything.
You can't. You can't. And I'm not gonna lie. A year ago, I was like, I ain't never using AI. I ain't never using it.
Same.
Okay, y'all. I done bit the bullet. I bit the bullet. But again, as Trinae said, it's something that I have incorporated into
Mhm.
helping me with certain areas. And it has really, really helped me. It really has inspired me and really has been able to keep me to where I'm like, oh, okay. I see
Mhm.
how, so you gotta learn your jam with it. You got to
Yeah.
figure out, where it can help you and how you can apply it, right?
Right.
So, and that's something that I had to learn and I'm still learning. Like, let's be real, I'm still learning, y'all. But one thing that I also had to realize too is I don't want to be in all the spaces. I want to be where I know I'm purposeful. I want to be in my podcast. I love talking. I love vibing with other guests, business owners, even within my other podcast, Empire Real Talk. I love to talk. If y'all can't tell by now, I love to talk, right? I know that's my jam. So I'm going to podcast. Also being able to be that empowering person, whether I am motivational speaking, whether I am coaching on a group setting, on a one-on-one setting, my membership community, growth over everything, just being able to have that alignment of knowing whatever I'm doing is uplifting women, empowering women, inspiring women, educating women, and helping us be the best versions of ourselves. That's where you're gonna find me. Okay.
Amen to
You ain't gonna
that.
find me in them little trends and stuff like that. I don't like the things. Me personally, it ain't for me. Okay. So I want to shift a little bit and just kind of ask you a
Yeah.
little bit. How have you been balancing things when it comes to like the entrepreneur journey and like your well-being? Because I'm very big on our
Mhm.
well-being and making sure that we're prioritizing ourselves and staying intentional when it comes to our
Yeah.
holistic wellness. So how are you doing that?
I gotta say I'm doing terrible. So
Hey, no
the
judgment here,
balance,
baby. No
listen,
judgment.
listen. The balance, I preach it, but I don't teach it. The balance is so hard when you're starting off, right? But this is where, AI tools and things like that can kind of help you be your own assistant. But the problem with me is I don't say no to anything. I gotta, because as a small business,
Mm,
it's like, okay, if I do a little bit of this and I do a little bit of that, then, this is where the money's going to come in so that I can be able to do this bigger project that I want
yeah.
to do, right? And that's the reality of the situation. You can't get a small business loan when you're first starting out within your first year, right? They usually want 2 years of traction. And in those 2 years of traction, you're really maybe not making the money you are. So you have to hustle a little bit in different ways and keep flows of income coming in. So what does that do? That means that you're not only handling this one position, this one job, but you're also handling other jobs that maybe you normally wouldn't take on. But you have to take on, you have to say yes, and you have to say yes to a point where you can say no, right? And the reality is that I'm just not there yet. I'm still building myself out as I'm also still building other people out. But I also understand that the people I'm building out are small businesses. So my fees are based on small businesses, right? My fees aren't what I'd be charging in corporate America. Then,
That
girl, I'll be
part.
fine right
I
now.
get it. Hey, I'm definitely with you on there, sis. I'm definitely with you on that.
Right. So then I would be floating right now and I would be fine, but I'm not there. And I got to stick to my passion, which is small businesses. So as I'm helping them and, catering packages that gear towards them, I have to take on other projects as well that I normally would have. But now those projects are getting me in my foot in the door in other ways as well, which then can come back to help my clients. Right. So you have
Yeah.
to know, like, you have to find the balance at some point in time. But at some point in time, also, if you are an entrepreneur, you have to schedule your balance.
Hey, straight like that.
Straight like
Straight
that.
like that. It's so important.
Yeah.
And because I advocate for that so much, I get the grind. I get the grind. And before we hopped on the recording, what I tell you, I was like, I was in the office on a Sunday getting it in like a
Right.
full day work week. You know what I'm saying? Because the one thing about it is, as an entrepreneur, your days off can vary, but I love what you said, scheduling that, because I know, as we record this, my birthday is upcoming. So guess what? I'm grinding because guess who's gonna be taking a couple of days off for her birthday? Me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it is important to make sure that you're scheduling them. But also scheduling, and I'm gonna tell you this. Let me go in coach mode real quick.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, 1,440 minutes in a day, sis. You take some of them minutes and make sure that you are just making sure that you're good. Whether it's just to look in the
Mhm.
mirror, like taking that deep breath. There's things that, and I know that are intentional in some of those things. I don't
Yes.
think that, that you're just somebody that's like, I'm not taking care of myself at all. I don't
I
see
don't
that.
know.
You know what
No,
I'm
no.
saying?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
definitely don't see that. So, but I want you guys to understand the importance of what she's saying. The grind is real.
Yes.
Sometimes entrepreneur life is going to require you working 12, 14,
Done
16
sleeping.
hour days, but it's also going to make you remind yourself that I need to take a moment to just reset and kind of just meditate, maybe go to check out some nature, do something to keep yourself grounded, because you can't be the best entrepreneur if you're not applying these self-care
Mhm.
daily activities to make sure that you are applying the best things towards your client. You're making the best products for your clients. So just make sure you guys are staying intentional in that. Make sure you
Mhm.
grind it, stay intentional,
Yes.
but stay intentional across that board. I
Yes.
love it. I love
I
it.
love
Thank
that
you for
too. And
being
two,
transparent about that, though.
no,
I
because
appreciate it.
listen, because like, and two, I got to the point where it's okay for me to be grinding because I'm grinding towards something, right?
Yes.
I'm saying yes to a bunch of things, don't get me wrong, but all these things relate back to my business and relate back to my main goal. I'm staying the path, but the path looks like this now.
Yeah.
It's not straight and narrow, right? I'm
No.
taking some turns and some detours to get there, but I'm
Yes.
making sure that the main path that I need to stick on, I'm still taking on projects that have to relate to it, and I'm not doing too much of a detour that
Right.
takes me away from my business,
Yeah.
for a couple months or for a couple years. It's like, no, this still relates back to it because of this, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And those moments are
It's
okay
still
too.
within your purpose. Yep. It's still within
Exactly.
your purpose.
Exactly.
And that's what matters. You're not doing things that you're like, "Oh my God, I hate this." I don't see you doing anything that you just
Hmm.
absolutely hate to do right now. I don't
Right.
see you in that
Exactly.
position. So,
Exactly. No,
yeah.
I'm having fun while doing it, but my self care could be a lot better.
Well, make this
Yeah,
your recording as
I
your
will.
reminder.
That's my reminder. Yes.
There we go.
But put it in the calendar. I'm gonna put it in the calendar. If it's in the
Put it in the
calendar,
calendar.
I live by that.
Yeah. Hey,
So yeah.
if it ain't on the calendar, it don't exist. I don't think people get
Listen,
that part.
it no, literally, I told my dad, I'm like, you're not on my calendar, I can't see you. Like, you got to schedule dinners, we got to schedule
Yeah.
meetings, and that's how real it is.
It's
Yeah,
facts. It's
yes.
facts. It's
So
facts.
now it's time for me to schedule some daily self care. So I
Yeah,
like that.
absolutely. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
So as we get ready to wrap up here,
yes,
one, I just want to know kind of what's upcoming for you here as we, because like I said, as we record, we're in mid-season, baby. We're in June as we record this. And what's upcoming like for the next 6 months for the last 6 months of the
6
year?
months of the year. Yeah. So I'm actually still figuring that out. I will be celebrating like my year anniversary in September. So I definitely like, yes, want to plan a mixer with, but I'm like, I want this mixer to look a little bit different, right? Like I want people to get something out of it and really network. So I got to plan that out, how I want that to look, bring in clients or people that I've just worked with throughout the
Yeah.
years and figure out how we can all collaborate. So I think the last 6 months and these smaller projects that I've taken on currently have taught me that collaboration is key to getting
Period.
to the end goal.
Come on. Come on.
Mhm.
And community building. Collaboration and community building is so important. I live by those two
Yeah,
things. You hear me? I live by them. And that has been the best thing for me. Y'all probably hear me say this a dozen times. If y'all listen to 5 other podcasts, you probably heard me say this. Stop depending on your family and friends to be that support for you as an
yeah,
entrepreneur.
yes. They
You've
have their own
got to
mind.
find community that is like minded. And it's going to take some action on your part. They're not going to just fall in your lap, people.
Mm-mm.
Like she said, she might have a mixer, maybe it might be for clients, it might be for this, but she knows the power of collaboration is key.
Exactly.
Community building is key because guess what? That one person that comes to her mixer might be her next big client. You just don't know,
You
people.
never know.
You
You
never
never
know.
know. And
I
two, I
love
realized
it.
taking on, projects too. So these projects that I have
Yep.
coming up that you guys will see eventually, it's like, okay, I'm collaborating with somebody else, right? I'm collaborating with somebody else to use my skills and help their skills and vice versa. So that's how my next 6 months will look like. So
I
I got some
love
things
it.
coming up. You guys just gotta stay tuned.
Hey, definitely. And of course, her information gonna be in the podcast note, y'all.
Yes.
So I ain't gonna just have you on a wild goose chase, even though you're gonna find her pretty quick because that SEO popping, baby. So anyway.
Boo, there you go. Google me, baby.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So my final question to you,
Yes.
sis, is what is one actionable tip? Because you have dropped so many gems today. And thank you so much for
Yeah.
sharing about branding and SEO and sharing more information about that. I know a lot of people are going to take great value away from this episode. But what's
Yes.
one actionable tip that listeners can implement today to start the journey of improving their brand visibility?
Yeah. So I would say two things. Two, let's reevaluate your business, right? Where you started and where you are now. Is that still where you want to be? Are you still on the right track, or has your business taken a little left or right? And that's okay if it has, but now what's your messaging,
Yeah.
right? I want you to go back and reevaluate your messaging and see if it's being seen throughout your platforms. If a stranger goes on there, can they be able to see what you're selling, what you're doing, what's your product, and who you are? If the answer to that is no, then you're going to have to re-strategize and change that up a bit because you won't be seen in the main course that you're trying to be seen on, right? Because you're in too many buckets and you're doing too many hats and things are not correlating. So for me to be able to see you first, I need to understand your messaging and your mission. Then you go from
Period.
there.
Period.
Yep.
Y'all heard that? Just let them know where they can find you at on social media.
Yes, of course. My name is Trinae Hall. You can find me on LinkedIn as such. And my website is thconcept with a T, solutions with an S.com. And all my info could be found right on my website.
Period. And again, that information will be right here in the podcast notes. We ain't holding ourselves back no more, y'all. We reaching out and we getting the support that we need to empower ourselves and empower our businesses. All right. Sis,
Yes.
I appreciate you so much for being here.
And
Thank
thank
you
you
for
for
just
having me.
blessing the woman's hustle so much, so much. I appreciate you for being here. I really
And
do.
thank you for having me. This is a great conversation.
All right, y'all. Well, y'all know where y'all can find me. If you are not following me, I'm on Coach K Transforms on all platforms. But if you are interested in finding yourself in community where you are going to be supported, uplifted, empowered, and educated, my new membership community, Growth Over Everything, is live. So that means you can go register elite membership. It's going to be a bunch of stuff. The biggest thing I want it to be is a big support platform for us ladies to know that we are supported personally and as entrepreneurs. All right. So you can check out my website at upgraded mindsets with a Z.life. Learn more about growth over everything as well. But if you're wanting some one-on-one conversation. First chat is always on me, so don't hesitate to reach out. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel and the podcast. I appreciate y'all again so much for tuning in. Till next
Thank
time,
y'all for
baby.
having me. Bye.